Hey everybody, haven't this been just about one of the best summers? I mean, as far as New York is concerned. We had a few days in the 90s in July, none in August, and some halfway, 3 or 4 days here in September. So we had a great time. We missed out on a lot of things, and we had a lot of things that I am so anxious to quickly update and tell you about. And one of them, of course, I'm gonna tell you, there was the plays at Central Park, are fabulous. I hope that, we try to inspire you and give you the update of what to get out there and check out. We had a couple of movies that were really done really well and really exciting and good. And that was the Barbie and also that new movie with Denzel. Excellent. I encourage everyone to go out and see it. Hot tips. And a couple of other good movies out there too. So please, before the summer comes to a complete end, get out there and enjoy yourself before autumn starts. And now we're going to get into the history of what occurred actually yesterday, which the date was September 14th. R.E.A.L. Blanc was originally started in France and Paris, I want to say, where a guy just thought about how can we get people to get out there and really become happy and really have a great time, all with it being spontaneous, and a mystery. Nobody knows the actual location or where they're gonna go. And then let's put a twist on it. Normally, particularly New Yorkers and most of the Cosmo society, LA, Chicago, places that's real hot, Japan, Hong Kong, all these places where the disco scene and the partying scene is exciting, but all kind of repetitious. So imagine over in Paris in France, some guy, he had the name and everything. I'll fill you in on those details later, but just picture this. Come together and says, well, I want to have a party for all my friends and their friends and just everybody at large. But I don't want to have it in the same setting, so I want to be able to move this party due to how many people respond to the text or the email or maybe both, whatever way, and say the charge is going to be whatever it is, 50, 100, 75. That is for that day, and also make a rain date for a day if the weather's going to be bad. Have all of these things in place. And this particular party, it was even on the news. So this party is just significant. It's been going on quite a while over in Europe, but I don't want to say that it's been here. I think it's been here maybe 7 or 8 years, and I didn't get wind of it until like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Like, I saw it, but I wouldn't suspect, like in the summertime, I never would think that if everybody just decides white, because I'm used to going to white affairs on the yacht, on the boat, on the ship. So, but the white affairs to just be out and open outdoors, like something like a street setting or a park setting, because I've been to a few, but all of them have this mystery to it. And so, it makes you anxious, but also it's like a mystery. So it's something special, it's something totally different about it. The way that it goes down, the way that people gravitate to it. I want to say that even in the repercussions of COVID, another thing we have to talk about, because that's actually on the rise, and we do have to be careful about that, where the turnout was 4,000 or more people down in the marketplace down in 14th Street. There's the perks, and there's some things that I didn't really like that much, but there were some perks, and there were a few things that I didn't particularly care for. The things that I didn't particularly care for about it, although I enjoyed myself and the people were happy and laughter and smiles and dancing and the kind of thing that gives a person that warmness, that the true sense of family, love, caring, something like a family picnic. all into one, except that the people that come out to this thing, they try to make it exotic and as creative, with creativity that's beyond compare. There's people that have just exquisite decorating skills, to the point that when you see certain things and certain art, it's like you're actually going into outside museum, like of art and things that you just see, and it's just I can't even describe. Then you have the live presence of people performing and dancing, and then the folks at large, and then the selection of food is whatever it is, the particular groups, because they come in groups. It's not a one-person affair. It's usually, well, it could be as many people as you want. So it could be, like, for an example, if you were talking about some of your classmates or some of your working associates, or even some of your just family members. Whatever it is, if it's your bowling pals or golf pals or party pals, in this scheme, everything works. It comes out brilliant. It's like art that the artist just places the paint, the different colors to attract different people, and different sounds of music, from jazz to hip hop to house music to reggae to, you just name it, all types of people populating together in a joyful manner with absolutely no type of disagreement or argument or any problem whatsoever. With 4,000, in my opinion, I think it was more than that. So good that even we had the honor of our mayor, Eric Adams, coming out, to visualize, to see how the city can tick, even with the unusual circumstances, how we always manage to take great negativity and turn it into great good. Because as you know, just 22 years ago, September 11th, we had that disaster. And I can tell you that we had the pause, we had the prayers, we had our traditional ceremony for all our heroes that we lost, and rightfully so, where the whole world stood still and was devastated. And that drove us together in peace and harmony and love and respect for our fellow human beings for quite a while. But I can't even say how many people stopped to ask me, well, what is going on? I've never seen anything like this. Tell me. So that in itself is something that's profound, something that, and when I tell you there were people from every denomination, all colors, all languages there. I mean, we had nothing but a hopeful, peaceful existence. It didn't matter if you spoke Spanish, English, French, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, whatever. You were invited and you were there, and everybody shared the different varieties of all types of food that they would present at their table. Now, this is the thing that makes it different, because when we talk about this idea is not new. That's why we have restaurants. You know what I mean? And basically, we go to the restaurant to get whatever we feel we have a taste for. But when you have your 5 or 6 associates or good friends from different places in the world, they traditionally bring the best of the best of what they like. And man, I was tasting things that was delicious. But because I do like culture, and I do like to dip my fingers and my hands into the different levels of different styles, and I like Vietnamese food, Japanese food, Chinese food, Italian food, Greece food. I mean, you name it, I tried it. I like it. I make the things that I can handle, and those things that I can't handle, I just go right to the source, to that particular restaurant where they're known for making great, right? But here, and just the friendliness. The thing now that, to me, isn't that cool was not being able to be totally comfortable. Of course, some things are risky. I mean, we're in New York, you know what I mean? And so having to drive a car to some location and drop the car off at one location and get to the location where we have to meet, where there's leaders and like chief leaders there that then tell us, like, when we get there, like about an hour or so after we're there, where we going to, where the event is really going to be. And then that's traveling to that. Now, usually I've been so far lucky that it hasn't been too far of a walking distance. And the other side is because New York is so populated, particularly downtown in this particular area, where we have the buses and stuff. There's really no way for cars. There would be no way for 4,000 cars to come and park. Just no way. You know what I mean? But so here's the other end of this thing. You already pay for whatever it is for that particular event. But then you also have to purchase your own tables, chairs, food, condiments, decorations, any other type of created specialty that you have in mind for your particular group or table for you to fascinate the other people that are attending the special event. And people are just in awe and amazed. So they're constantly, photographers are going around shooting pictures. So there's just loads of pictures of people dancing in the street and gathering around. And the event is just something that you might want to experience. I could say probably is if you're getting older, maybe not, unless you have someone younger bringing you around. Of course, it is tedious. You have to have a wagon or some kind of carrier to carry all of these things, the chairs and things. And most of the things, due to this revolution of everybody attending this particular event, making things as light as possible. But then you also have to pay the plates, the silverware, the glassware, the candles, the flowers. You're going to go on and on. And then there's a certain time to meet and greet. That's usually when you give yourself a big toast. And the lighting and everything is phenomenal. They have that time where you have the napkins and you turn it up. That's when they formally greet everybody there. Everybody is seated there now and able to drink their glass of wine or champagne or salsa water, whatever their requirements are, whatever they feel they have to drink. And then table napkin, handkerchief, wave that in the air along with dazzles and spazzles of lights. And because Sherry Jack was the first one to actually bring this kind of rhythm, who was family from, baby, I can honestly say my family is like a little sister. In fact, it's the first time I flew to Kansas was when she was born, So all of these things, and most of the people, they knew her, and we all shared these emotions of family. The ones that were there, it wasn't quite a turnout like the ones years ago before the pandemic. But the last ones, she was actually there with us, so it was just incredible. And she loved this kind of thing. She actually experienced these kind of things off and on, going to Paris and France. And so we had this Ali that we had on, that we could turn on the light and it lit up. And then we had all the other family type events. It was truly amazing. I'm explaining these things to you, but when you see the footage and just the singing and live performances that they had, and people just feeling a certain way and just dancing to the music in their own mind, and just the gaiety that just went about it was something that I can hold in my heart. And then to actually, the mayor, see him actually take time to come out and get this kind of reaction from the people. And we know, listen, things ain't looking so good for us in New York. I mean, you know what I mean? Everything is high. We're going to have cuts across the board. For everybody to be able to smile and just know that, you know, New York is up to New York. You know, Frank Sinatra, they had played that too, you know what I mean? And they played the version of New York with Alicia Keys and Jay-Z. You know, it's definitely a New York trend. It's anybody can do it and fix it. It's definitely New York, you know. So we have to go along with Adams on that thing. But we do need a lot of assistance, and we do need a lot of help. Now, if we're going to get it, that remains to be seen, but we do need it desperately. But when I say that, I don't say it in a way that we think as New Yorkers that we forget about the poor guys that are burning up, and fires and earthquakes and everything else that's going on in this world. But when we think about all of the problems, the first thing is that everything is way too high. If it's possible, let's cut things being so high. You know what I mean? We got to take a cut at everything else. Let's cut everybody charging so much in New York for affordable housing. The mayor's really worried about that. The people are really worried about that. We have a lot to worry about, even though we go out and sometimes we want to try to forget about all of these negative things, but these things are real. There's a little bit more jobs out there thanks to the great work, you know, of going on around. But the world is for everybody. But if the world is going to encounter New York as the one to plant the seeds for everybody that just want to come on board here, and there's nothing wrong with that, because everybody is entitled to a beautiful life. I'm the first one to think that and say that. But if everybody's going to come along with it, the structure is not adequate to fit what's going on here. So everybody's got to take a good look and say, well, especially these people that maybe don't believe that people should be equal and people should have equal opportunity. But if they don't believe it, and their states sending everybody to New York, sending you know, what they consider to be trouble, then send your share of the financial to help support why you don't want to help the people there, because it should be, honestly, a universal way to make all people feel welcome and wanted. It shouldn't only be New York out of this whole world looking at world peace. World peace has to come from the heart. And world peace, if it comes from the heart, then we can find a way. World peace isn't throwing everything here and expecting Mayor Adams and our governor to, because we also have a lot of New Yorkers here that have been suffering, that have, for whatever their reasons are, been homeless. and don't have. Then we have young people that want to make a way for themselves where things are just too high and they can't find a place. They're that age where they need to move and get a place for their own livelihood. And they've been here since they've been born. How can we not address these issues? If we have our young people feeling like they feel and they're young and they're doing everything that they should do, they went to school, they're still in school, they're studying, they're working, and at the end of that session or that particular amount of time, you can't provide them with the small things, which would be a place for them to live, a good amount of money. We have to look at that. We can smile and we can do our best, but our worries and our troubles are going to catch up with us. Don't let that happen. Help our government, help our New York. You want us to do this and do that? We don't mind doing it. Send us the money to do it, okay? Help the mayor and help the governor here. Otherwise, every place is beautiful. Start splitting these thousands and 10,000s of people up to go other places. If we all have an equal share, then nobody has anything to say. We all be on the same boat. That's okay. You know what I mean? That's what you call right is right. Justice is justice. So I want to just say that it's great. We have a whole lot of heroes. We had the heroes from last night that got together to make people smile. I'm not sure with the problems and the cuts that's coming New York's way, was that the best way to do something? Because to me, everything was way more expensive. But the bottom line is, I had a good time. I like seeing people enjoy themselves, and I like to see all types of people. I like to taste all types of food. I like to hear all types of sound and music is our universal language. So I do thank you. I thank you, all the police that were present. They were having a good time as well. You know, of course, we had absolutely no uproar and no trouble. And that's how New York really is. The ones that stood around September 11th and put those flowers on their people that they loved and remembered, and that a tear could still come to their eye just thinking about it. The people that we lost, the heroes. Watch New York. Let's all get together and pray in solidarity for a peaceful world. And let's make it happen now. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Real Self Talk Show with Sylvia Gina Hunt. And now tune in to this brief slideshow from the All-White Affair. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in to this brief slideshow from the All-White Affair. And now here's a small clip of Major Eric Adams being introduced by I Am Shaft. Enjoy.
Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the KSR Choir. If you are glad to be alive this evening, make some noise. Can y'all hear me? If you can hear me, make some noise. If you're glad to be alive tonight, make some noise. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great
tuning into this small clip from I Am Shaft and Major Eric Adams. And now check out this Dinner in Blanc NYC slideshow made by Jack Ryger. Enjoy.